question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay, won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. Coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. Coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast.
All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It looks like I'm just checking the camera and mic. Scarlett had to get out of the way. She came to grab the baby. They're going to go on a walk. Welcome. Happy Friday. What is today? June 6, 2026. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay. And we will get started momentarily. Anya says, is GNS a popular ticker? It has been, I'd say, popular since early 2023. Anya, if you can see the chart here, when it had this huge move up. Don't pay attention to the prices on here because the company has done a couple reverse splits. But it did have a big move up. That got it on our radar. The CEO has been vocal about naked shorts, which of course, draws retail traders in like what's the phrase? Like bees to honey? No. Like flies to honey. And it's been follow any of my due diligence time to time. Long only. I don't short stocks. I don't work with shorts. Shorts don't tell me what to say. Nobody tells me what to say. I'm not paid. I'm just a dude looking for good trades while minimizing risk. And sometimes high profit potential trades are down here in the gutter with companies that are losing money and diving into the drain of the swamp. Like this one, if you had invested $367 in 2022, it's now worth 24 cents. But there's been, to be fair, plenty of opportunities for intelligent swing traders to make money on this ticker. Boom, 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 boom. And I called out myself going long on my most recent purchase. Let's put it up on the screen here. On May 13th, if you follow me on X, I said I'm going long. I went long yesterday, GNS, because it hit a demand zone. You guys that follow my channel know we often map out supply and demand zones long in advance. Sometimes, in this case, it was a year. And we wait for the price to hit a demand zone. If we're thinking about taking a speculative swing on it, we want to minimize our risk and buy when the stock has shown previous support. So I have been out of the trade for a long time. This was the beginning of this zone, March of 2025. I said on X I was taking a technical TA-based speculative trade. There's not one thing, well, that's maybe being too harsh. The company has its problems. I don't have a defendable thesis of why you should go long GNS because of fundamentals. But from a TA basis, if you understand volatility and where support is, you can often, if you're lucky and smart about timing, you can get a good little trade. And what happened with GNS after I put this post out that I had gone long on May 13th? I said I would maintain a tight stop loss, and in case I was wrong about the momentum bounce, but that I was hoping for a bounce. Now let's go back and look at my chart here. What happened after May 13th? Let's go to the daily. Actually, let's go to the 5-minute. We're going to get in this video to the proxy that is coming up, and I will tell you why we're doing this video in just a minute. This is not a ticker I normally spend a lot of time covering. Just monitor it for a good entry, watch volatility, keep up once a quarter with how the financials are doing. And when the moment is there, then we strike. So here was, no, that was May 27th. May 27th. So May 13th, you saw on the chart, it was trading around 20 cents or so. And then all of a sudden, about 14 days later, in After hours, boom, up to 51 cents. And if you are a swing trader like my channel and the folks in my Discord, we're not necessarily trying to get 1000% baggers off of a trade, especially if the fundamentals are weak. And here was a chance to 2x your money in less than 14 days. It was a very risky trade on a fundamental basis, but on a technical basis, I liked the setup. So I went long. I am no longer in the stock. I will wait and watch it. And I'll let y'all know, just like I did on X and in the Discord, if I take a long position on the stock again in the future for another swing trade. Right now, I have no position. I'm not short the stock. I don't work for shorts. Why am I covering GNS? Let's move into that. They had a 6K filing go out at the end of the week that they are scheduling their annual general meeting on the 7th of July. And there are 10 items on here. And I shared a couple of thoughts on social media, X, Webull comments, Stock Twits, with some thoughts about this proxy. And that was going to be it. That was going to be the end of my conversation. There are some people that follow me that look for non-biased, rational analysis. Whether or not they use it for their trading analysis is up to them. I don't give buy, sell, or hold instructions. I don't even give recommendations. You guys do whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. I talk about what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, and I generally try and base that off of any company's filings. Now, the problem is, guys, and if you trade retail stocks, you know this very well. There are people, what I call gatekeepers, who do not want filings talked about. They will do anything to prevent a proper due diligence discussion amongst grown adults. If it doesn't fit their carefully cultivated narrative, and they will lie, they will insult, they will harass, dox, slander, whatever they need to do to try and shut people up. And I have had enough of it with these people. So because of their tactics, we're going to now be doing regular, maybe twice a week coverage of GNS. I've got years worth of stuff because I've been following this stock for years. I've got years of stuff to talk about. And we've got current events going on that we need to talk about. And different retail communities can tell you, you start accusing me of being a short or working for a short, it makes me want to dig into your ticker even more, because when you have to lie, I know you're trying to hide something. And I am going to always keep it to the filings. And I invite any of you to have a due diligence discussion about the filing, about the company's own words. But when you resort to lies, slander, and harassment, you are trying to control the conversation. You are trying to keep people in a cult and keep rational discussion out of it. And that is why we are here tonight, because I don't like these sort of cult leader gatekeepers. Some of them very well could be paid for by the company when they won't allow any discussion, when they go in attack mode if you post a thought about a filing. That is a red flag to you, ladies and gentlemen, when you see these people. And I deal with them in almost every ticker I'm in. And many of these tickers I'm long in. And just because I talk about a filing, I got to deal with these dipshits. It's not an accident that they're gatekeeping. Sometimes they're just innocent people who are really down in a play and they're scrambling to hang on to any last shred of hope. Maybe there is hope with Genius Group. Maybe it'll turn around this year. But if you can't talk about a filing from the company without lying about people, accusing them of falsehoods, like working for a short, then either you're delusional you're a conspiracy theorist, or you're paid for by the company to shut down conversation. And again, when I see that, it's a huge red flag, and it makes me want to start covering that stock even more. And I'm just sitting here, retired, day trading, swing trading, taking care of our new baby. I got plenty of time. I got plenty of time to read. I got plenty of time to form my own thoughts, and I got plenty of time to do live streams and make videos. Keep up the harassment campaign. I'm going to 10x my coverage on this stock, because you're throwing up red flags, and that makes me concerned for innocent people who are going to get swept up in the misinformation campaign put out there by these promoters, by these gatekeepers. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a regular to the channel, welcome to the discussion about Genius Group. This is the first in a mini-part series. Tonight, we're just talking about the proxy statement and the fact that the CEO has accumulated a super voting majority to where he's going to be able to control the vote on this proxy, or any proxy going forward. And if you're familiar with Mullen or Beanie, you already know what that looks like, where retail shareholders have no say. Cheers. In some subsequent videos or lives, we'll get into other things like the financials of Genius Group. Maybe we'll get into the new AI treasury proposal that they have. And Roger just did a live stream on that. You can go to their website and read up on that. I always suggest you guys go get your information straight from the source. I'm just providing my thoughts. Your thoughts are equally valid. I don't censor anybody for having a different opinion. I do block people that cannot converse like an adult. I'm here to talk to my fellow investors, my fellow traders. You're going to act like a child, you're going to get blocked or muted. I don't have time for that nonsense. Get your information from the company, get your information from SEC filings. I'd suggest mostly avoiding social media, because it's mostly people out there lying to you. And especially, I'm seeing a lot of misinformation here on Genius Group. I have been for years, but you know, it is what it is. I can't talk about every stock all the time. I have never recommended this stock. And why? Because, well, it's been on a massive downward trend for 4 years. And of course, the people promoting this stock are in that naked short community. And, you know, maybe there are shorts in this stock. But how's that going for you? My first question. We on this channel in my Discord, we don't discount the fact that there could be malfeasance or shorts or people, institutions working within the gray lines of the rules. But we're also not going to throw good money out the window when there are winning trades you can invest in. If you want to play these stocks, get better at timing, get better at understanding the financials and the corporate actions. There are many very shitty stocks that we trade where we make money on them. I just made 700% on AMC in mid-April. It's in pretty bad financial shape. Getting better, but as box office grows, but by any objective measure, it's in pretty bad shape. I was out of that trade for 17 months before jumping in, and then within 2 weeks, between the shares and my call options, 700% gain. 100% gain on that first swing. And then I exited the trade mid-April, got back in mid-May, and then made 700% on swing number 2. All right. GNS, my coverage is basically, if you've ever asked me about it or followed me, has talked about the troubled financials and why the stock price is going down. Why would a short be attracted to this stock? Their financials are a wreck until they're not. And maybe this will be the year they're not. We'll get into that in another video. In another video, another live, we'll talk about their financials. Maybe I'll bring a CPA on We'll talk about dilution. You want to see what dilution looks like on this stock? Back in 2022, shares outstanding 2.7 million. These numbers might be split adjusted here on the screen bar. You got to read. It's so small based on the current potential dilution that you can't even see the blue line. 2.7. By 2025, it was at 60 million. By now, right now, it's 200 million. So it's gone up a factor of 100x. You wonder why price of a stock goes down when the company has increased the float 100x in a couple of years? There's one clue, ladies and gentlemen. And they have an open ATM to issue another 4 billion shares. I did not stutter. All right. Moving on to the annual meeting. Before we get into that, let's talk about Class A versus Class C. Hang on. Let me put this, at least one of these devices, on mute. Genius Group has common stock Class A and Class C. Class A is the normal common stock traded on the exchange. Class C is what I call a super voting class of common stock, which is held by the CEO, Roger James Hamilton. Last year, Roger James Hamilton awarded himself via the board. As you can see here, 6 million Class A shares were converted to Class C. Class C shares hold 10 votes per share. I didn't say anything back then. 6 million, you know. It is what it is. And that removes the shares from the tradable float out there on the exchange because Class C is not converted. So you could theoretically say that was a good thing, right? It reduced the shares outstanding in the float. Okay, fair enough. Not a big deal. But then again, now we have last week, Roger James Hamilton on June 1st and the company's board signed a resolution to convert another 10 million shares held by Roger to Class C. Also still with 10 votes per share. That gives him now 16 million Class C shares, which can vote in a proxy, and effectively 160 million votes. How many shares of GNS are there? Shares outstanding, 194, 175 free float. I'm going to assume, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll double check before our next video. But let's just assume that the free float has already removed his 10 million shares and it's 175 million. And he's got 160 million votes. How many retail traders show up to vote in your typical annual shareholder meeting? Almost none. Retail voter apathy is well known. And so effectively, Roger James Hamilton easily owns more than, if retail does not show up, he's going to dominate the voting in a proxy with his 160 million votes. You want to see what that looks like? You could also look at Quantum, QUNTM. They also have two different classes of shares closely held by the CEO with super voting power. And people were all excited about this stock when it ran up. And it has dropped from $34 down to $4 and probably headed to $2. And when something comes up for a vote, there's jack shonkus that anybody can do. because the executives own the vote through their super voting shares. Anya says it sounds like a dictatorship. It's perfectly legal, Anya. It just behooves you as a retail investor to understand the capital structure of a company you're investing in. That means you need to go look, how many classes of stock are there? Are there preferred stock? If there's multiple classes of common stock, do any of them have super voting rights? Why are there multiple classes? These are important things. They're not important if you're a day trader or a swing trader. If you're planning on holding this stock, any stock, these are critical things to look into. Now, if you say to me, Tony, I'm okay with the CEO controlling the vote, I trust him implicitly, then fine. Absolutely fine with me. You made your choice and you get to live with the outcome, whatever the outcome is. A normal viewpoint would be skeptical, Anya, of management having super voting power control over a proxy. Skeptical, because it raises governance issues for common shareholders. Now, let's talk about some of the stuff on this proxy. The first 5 resolutions are pretty straightforward. To adopt the audited financial statements, no biggie. To approve the payment of directors' fees of $1 million for the financial year ended 31st of December. I know some people I've seen on social media think that is far too high. We'll get into that when I talk about the financials. I'm just noting that item is there, and some people are complaining about it. To re-elect Thomas Power as a director, to re-elect Eva Mantzu as a director. I'm pretty sure Eva is the CEO's wife. She's also a director on the board and legal counsel, and takes a hellacious salary for that, for a company so small. But we'll get into that in another video. Got a lot of things to talk about with you guys about Genius Group now that these guys done kicked the hornet's nest. And finally, number 5, reappoint Interim LLP as auditor of the company. All right, all pretty basic stuff. What I want to talk with you about is the next 5 items tonight on this brief live stream, just to raise awareness of what is on here that your vote is going to be irrelevant on. Tony, why are you even talking about this? You just told us we can't control the vote. The CEO controls the vote. That's true, but you should still know what's on the ballot. Anya says, did you make money on GNS? Anya, go find the post in Discord in the penny stock room where where I posted the winner post. It was around May, what was that? May 23rd? May 24th? Whatever that date was, 27th. It was a 2x play in 2 weeks. Not bad. Not bad for our fellow longs, our fellow degen gamblers. All right, this is what? Number 6. I don't know. They put the resolution number at the bottom, but I color-coded them to make it easier. Authority to issue shares. Pursuant to the provisions of Section 161, authority is hereby given to the directors to allot and issue Class A ordinary shares in the capital of the company by rights, bonus, or otherwise, make grant offers, agreements, or options that might or would require Class A shares allotted and issued, and issue additional instruments from adjustments made to the number of instruments previously issued in the event of rights, bonus, or capitalization issues. Notwithstanding that the authority conferred may have ceased to be in force, authority is hereby given to the directors to allot and issue Class A shares. Such authority shall continue in force until the next annual shareholder meeting. What are the pros and the cons of this? The pros would be that it gives the company some flexibility to issue shares for fundraising, acquisitions, or growth, i.e., that AI Bitcoin treasury that they just talked about a couple days ago. The cons would be that it's potentially highly dilutive in a stock that's already trading at, 24 cents. So I would say, depending on how you come down on it, you could say, well, I'm bullish about them having shares to do acquisitions, growth, invest in AI, what have you, SpaceX. But you got to realize that that is also dilutive. And if you say dilute me more, daddy, and you want to vote for that, then be my guest. I don't give voting instructions. I'm just covering what's on the ballot and the pros and cons, like we do on every ballot. Pros and cons. People say, he covered the ballot. He's trying to tell you how to vote. I don't care how you vote. They say this on every damn stock. I don't care how you vote. And I don't give one-sided viewpoints. Number 7, a proposed share buyback mandate. This is a authorization for up to 20% of issued shares to be bought back by Genius Group. And generally, we like share buyback authorizations. However, you must understand that a authorization is not a requirement that they buy the shares. Let's see what it says in here. If it says mandate up here, normally we see authorization. For the purposes of blah, 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 the directors the exercise by the directors of the company of all the powers of the company to purchase or otherwise acquire the issued ordinary shares in the company, not exceeding in aggregate the prescribed limit at such price as may be determined by the directors from time to time, up to the maximum price as herein defined, whether by the way of market purchases or off-market purchases. The authority conferred on the directors to the share buyback mandate may be exercised by the directors at any time and from time to time during the period commencing from the date of passing of this resolution and expiring on the date of the next annual meeting, the date on which the ordinary share buyback mandate are carried out to the full extent of the mandate, and the date on which the authority contained is varied or revoked. Prescribed limit means 20% of the total number of ordinary shares, so that's the most they can buy back. Relevant period, we already talked about that up above, till the next meeting. Maximum price, not exceeding 130% of the average closing price. Average closing price, I was like, what is that? Oh, here it is. Average closing price means the average of the closing market price over the last 5 market days. The directors are hereby authorized to complete and do all such acts and things as they may consider expedient or necessary to effect these transactions. The pros, obviously, when a company does a share buyback, is it reduces the float. It can support the price. It can signal confidence. The cons are it takes cash. It takes cash to buy back shares. We'll look at Genius Group's cash in a next video or live when we talk about the financials. But also keep in mind, they have a Bitcoin policy they're trying to use their cash for. They have this now AI treasury. They want to go buy SpaceX and a bunch of other stocks, which is fine, you know. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying, where's all the cash coming from? Could it be coming from dilution? Debt? I don't know. Something to ask the CEO. Where are you going to get the cash to do these buybacks? A lot of companies we see, especially microcaps, do share buyback authorizations and then never pull the trigger. It's just what we call a bull trap PR. If it's a mid cap or large cap company and they talk about a share buyback authorization, typically you can take them at their word that they're going to be buying back shares. These companies typically have plenty of free cash flow that they don't know what to do with. These large cap and mid cap companies, they're profitable. They're cash generating machines, and they've run out of ideas of what to do with all that free cash. So they buy back shares, support shareholder value. When you're talking a micro cap company that is short on cash, has diluted investors 100x in the last 4 years to keep adequate liquidity, and has aggressive plans to buy Bitcoin and AI companies, you got to wonder where that cash is going to come from. This is not a company that's overflowing with positive free cash flow. Number 8, conditional authority for share consolidation. What does that mean? That is a reverse split. I love how they word it here. Share consolidation. So basically what this one is doing is giving the board the discretion, if needed. I'm not aware that the company is under any imminent delisting threat, but if needed, they have the ability to do a 10 for 1 or 1 for 10 reverse split. Yeah, 1 for 10. If they were to get a delisting notice due to the share price being under $1, I don't know how they've gone this long not getting one. That's something I'll look into on a later date. Doesn't really matter to me for the purposes of tonight's video. This is giving the company, the board, the ability to implement a 1 for 10 reverse split if they decide to, for any reason, or if they need to. Some of y'all be happy with that. Some of y'all won't be happy with that. I don't have any comments about reverse splits other than, sometimes they're necessary. They're necessary to stay listed. When shareholders vote against them, you get a situation like MMAT. The company wanted to reverse split and sell some more shares. Shareholders voted no after a wide social media campaign. And then the company filed bankruptcy very shortly after because shareholders handcuffed them in their ability to raise cash. So I don't have any campaign to tell you how to vote. I don't want to be the one that makes this company handcuffed and file bankruptcy. You do whatever you want. Quite often, if a company's telling you they might need to do a reverse split, you ought to listen. Doesn't mean you need to hold the stock if you're worried about dilution. Not doing something, not taking action, not selling ahead of a reverse split when you know they need to dilute, that is a decision. And if the price collapses, you made a decision to hold through it. You knew what was coming. I don't want to hear any complaining, blaming the company, the executives, the SEC, FINRA. So everything's fully disclosed right here. You get to make your choices. You get to own your own outcomes. Number 9, authority to issue Class B ordinary shares, Class C ordinary shares, and preference shares. So this gives the board broad power to create multiple class shares with different voting rights or other rights. Look, if here's my take on this. If the company is going to be selling shares to raise cash to do all of these initiatives that they had, the more shares they issue, Roger's going to lose his super voting control. And you're going to see exactly what happened with Quantum. Guys, you can look all this stuff up. Quantum was diluting shareholders so much that the executives lost their super voting powers because so many common shares had been issued. What did they immediately do? Let's just issue ourselves some more super voting shares for like $1 each, while the shares were trading at $30. It is amazing what is legal and how effed you can get by these executives doing dirty tricks like that. Quantum just rugged everybody, put the executives back in the driver's seat by giving them super cheap, super voting shares. Here we have proposal number 9, where once this is passed, and all of these will be passed on July 7th. They all will be passed. Thank you, Roger. The company will have the ability to issue more Class B, Class C, or preferred shares. And last but not least, item number 10, the conversion of shares. This is a approval for the board to convert however they see fit, Class A to Class B to Class C, or the other way around. So if Roger James Hamilton owns a large amount of Class A shares, pretty much at a whim, he can convert any number of them to these super voting Class C shares. It gives the company flexibility to reduce the float by converting shares to Class C, but it entrenches his super voting majority, his ability to ensure you have no control, you have no say. Now, the company is going to tell you that this is to prevent a hostile takeover. Who the fuck is trying to take this company over would be my first question. We'll get into that, why no one is interested in taking it over, when we get to the financials. Overall, if I had to assess the 5 things that we went through, I would say, look, if you want to be reasonable, there is governance risk here. There is control risk in that the control of the company is only in the hands of the board now and the CEO. Retail shareholders have zero control over what this company decides to do or any vote on a proxy. There is high dilution risk, not only from the items we just went through, but from the open ATM. This light blue bar is potential dilution. I mean, this is seriously one of the worst I've ever seen. Clearly, they're not going to issue 4 billion shares at 24 cents. But I'm just saying, they have an unlimited ability to tap the till. You think this stock is going to go to the moon? As soon as the price starts moving, they're going to start selling shares. And they're telling you clearly that they need to raise money for all of these initiatives. So that should not be any surprise to you. All of these people worried about naked shorts. Your float has increased by the company 100x in the last 4 years. Some people would say the company is helping the shorts by giving them 100x the float in shares. I don't say that because I don't really care. I don't really care about naked shorts. There's plenty of other people talking about it. I'm just looking for, what do I need to know about company filings to maximize my profitable outcomes? That's all I want to know. There could be naked shorts. There could be shorts. I don't care. Worrying about them in ticker after ticker after ticker for the last 5 years has mostly bankrupted most retail traders. All right. Last thing, probably should have talked about this first. I wanted to highlight some of the comments. Why did this live stream happen tonight? Why is regular ongoing coverage of GNS going to be a thing on this channel? Because I dared to talk about the proxy in a tweet, and then people start attacking me nonstop for 2 days. Lying, slander, trying to ruin someone's reputation, saying they work for a short. Keep it up. I'm going to 10x my coverage of this stock. Let's see what the gist and the feel of these cuckoos comments are. This one was June 5th. He says, what is your position as an investor with GNS? Well, I just went over that. I've been trading the stock on volatility for years, and I posted my most recent trading idea on May 13th, and then the stock 2x'd. So if you don't like people who are telling you after waiting a year, I went long the stock, and then you 2x your money in 2 weeks. If you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. But these people up on the screen are not interested in truth or reality. They're trying to control the conversation, spin a false narrative. What is my position? My position is I'm a swing trader looking for high volatility opportunities with low risk. And I don't want to be in a trade when those opportunities are not there or when the risks are too high. What's your notice? What's he saying here? Something about illegal trading tactics, probably of the institutions or shorts. Lawsuits are navigating through the system, and you are spewing FUD. I've talked about the lawsuits plenty of times. People ask me questions about the lawsuits GNS is involved on X, and I answer every single one of those posts. So I'm sorry. Look, the promoters of this stock are telling you you're going to be rich tomorrow due to a lawsuit, which is years away from resolution, multiple lawsuits. And even if the ones that are close to resolution, they're suing people that are bankrupt. There's uncertain outcomes and uncertain payoffs, and most of the payoffs going to go to the attorneys anyways. So I'm not super excited about the lawsuits. I hope the company wins all of the lawsuits. It's not a trading thesis, ladies and gentlemen. It might be good. I hope they win. It's not going to affect your stock tomorrow and you've lost 99% of your value. Talking about lawsuits, like, let's get real. Maybe you should consider hosting the real criminals of fraud. I have no interest in hosting criminals or fraudsters. I'd be happy to have Roger James Hamilton on and ask him some of my questions. I'll send him a note. Why have you not brought the swamp in and interviewed them? Have you seen how people who interviewed Ken Griffin or Doug Sifu are treated? I've seen people try and bring the evil, what do they call the dark side, on for interviews. And those people are ridiculed, insulted, doxxed, harassed. Those people have already been interviewed. There's nothing I could add by interviewing them again. And I get enough death threats being along in these tickers and talking about a filing. I certainly don't need to bring those dipshits, Ken Griffin and Doug Sifu, on my channel. I do not support shorts. I don't like market makers that use information against us. This is just a FUD misdirection. This guy was throwing whatever shit he could against the wall to not talk about the proxy. Don't be so full of yourself. You're as much scum as the bad actors. Why? Because I wait patiently for a good entry on a stock, double my money, and then exit. And then I report on filings in the meantime. That makes me scum. You're the scum, sir, for posting this bullshit, this lies, slanders, harassment, nonstop campaign for 2 days. I'm sick of it. And I'm going to start covering this stock so much you're going to wish you never would have responded to my post. I don't stalk and harass all these pumpers and promoters. I just let them do their thing. It has no bearing on me. I post my thoughts when I think it's important to say something, and I let the record of what I say speak for itself over time. These people do not want you to have a conversation. They don't want someone like me out there in social media having rational discussion about filings. Justice is coming. You may be included. Great. I'm just a retail trader just like you. If I tell you I traded something or I didn't trade something, if I tell you I'm long and I tell you I don't short stocks, all of my trading records back that up. I've never been paid by anybody. I have no fear of justice. I have a legal disclaimer on every video and on my X profile. That is there for you. It's there for any court case. It's there for the SEC. It's there for the DOJ. It's there for the FBI. I have zero concern. You're just throwing bullshit up there. Continue the narrative path you're going. See, they don't want you talking about the filings. What's the narrative? I'm discussing a company proxy. Up here, he says, passing the buck, because I told him, how about you talk about the filing? Passing the buck, try answering my questions. Your questions are bullshit. What is your position? We already talked about that. Why haven't you? We already talked about it. They just repeat the same obfuscation. And you see this in every ticker, ladies and gentlemen. Learn to recognize these people. These are the red flag people trying to control a narrative, trying to create a cult, trying to censor reasonable analysis and discussion. And they certainly don't want the company documents talked about. Tony, you have zero moral character, passing opinion. I'm pretty sure on social media, we're all entitled to an opinion. Should I question your moral character for having a different opinion? No. I celebrate your right to have an opinion. But talk about the filing. Why are you attacking people? Continue to not answer the couple of questions. Well, hopefully now I've answered the questions to your satisfaction. I've answered all these questions before. You're just too dumb to watch the channel on a regular basis and know that. Anya says, we see this in Railtown every day. Yeah, I have had death threats recently that I had to report to the FBI and local law enforcement from AMC investors. Because what? I go to 100 movies a year because I'm an A-list member, because I promote cinema and film, because I am long the stock. You're going to send me a death threat because you don't like my coverage of a filing. Every ticker, guys, there are these gatekeepers. And when you see them, red flag those accounts. Pay attention to who does not want you to have a conversation. Andrew says, I'm sorry people harass. We all observe the flags. Andrew says they're rage baiting me. I don't get mad at it, Andrew. It allows me a chance to mirror what they're saying out there and point out to you guys who these shysters are, these promoters, these cult leaders that exist in every ticker. And hopefully for some of you that are just listening quietly, maybe it's your first time here, start learning to recognize these people. I am happy to have a conversation with anybody. You don't have to agree with me on any filing. I've been having long conversations in other tickers with investors of variety of opinions and viewpoints. Some agree with me, some don't. Same with my Discord. On almost every ticker, we don't agree on stuff. That's fine. It's the people that are trying to control a conversation, to shut down discussion. That should be hair on fire, red flag to you guys. You need to start learning who is who's paid for by these companies, or who is just a little bit delusional. It's a little bit of both. I don't think everybody's paid for by the companies. There's just a lot of people that a couple screws loose up in the head. They're not able, they certainly don't want to have a conversation about a filing. Tone says some people just don't like the truth. Amen, brother. All right. That is it for tonight's discussion on the proxy. Hopefully you learned something. There's going to be many more because these people, they're like rats trying to scurry off of a ship. I see the rats now, And now you got my interest because you tried to come bite me on the ankles. Prepare to get fogged by this channel. We're going to shine the fucking light on this ticker. We're going to go through it in painstaking detail between now and the vote in July. And the people that are harassing me can thank themselves for the extra attention that I'm going to be providing this ticker. And they're probably not going to like it because we're going to be talking about company documents with CPAs, with whoever I need to bring on board, people that are smarter than me. I'm fairly smart, but I like pulling in people that are smarter than me. I went and saw He-Man, Masters of the Universe this afternoon. I'm going to end this live stream here at 1 hour because my wife, the redhead, wanted to go to see Scary Movie tonight. So we're going to have a double feature today. Excuse me. That'll be my 40th movie of the year. Yesterday was 38 million domestic. We're expecting a great box office weekend. And look, Masters of the Universe was a fantastic film, especially for older people like me. Maybe you grew up watching the cartoon in the 80s, or like me, you were an older brother of someone, younger siblings who watched the cartoon. I just watched it in the background because my younger brother and sister were watching it. It's a great movie, this one that's out this weekend. And I will let you know tonight or tomorrow what I thought about Scary Movie. 40 movies in 5 months. 5 months and a couple days. Tone says, Tony, let's do it. Wait. Nike says, can I harass you about Highcroft? Yeah, of course. We have a Highcroft room. We have a lot of Highcroft investors in the Discord, myself included. I just bought more Highcroft at the end of last week on that crazy dip in metals prices. And I have a Highcroft video coming talking about the new technical study that is out. It's just, can I see the baby? I know, but let me see him for a minute just so he can say hi. If you're wondering why I am having such a hard time getting videos and shit out, why I'm delinquent on Highcroft, it's this little dude right here. He just had his 2-month-old birthday. He's asleep. Mommy just got back bringing him from a walk. I'm going to put him back in his little stroller here for a second. All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk more about Highcroft and other tickers. If you want to join the Discord, it's free. There's a link in every video and live video description. Or if you don't see one in this one, just go look on my channel. Discord is free. Discord is free. Discord is free. There are some paid options. If you want more access to more rooms, more discussion, more of my thoughts, we welcome anybody that is able to have a conversation like an adult and is willing to learn. There's nobody that's going to get kicked out for having a different opinion. Harassment, doxing, stalking, insulting, acting like a child, that's an automatic permanent ban. Hope to see you there. Go see some damn movies, ladies and gentlemen. And we will see you on the next video. Have a good night.
So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. can't control. Feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane, it's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control. Feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. I send the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly